Hey everybody, I am Yasmina. Of course, you know that I'm Yasmina. Just say yeah. And we are here today talking about what it means to love me, love life, live healthy. That's right. We're here to talk about living happy, healthy lives. And I'm so excited because the perfect storm is here. And of course, the perfect
Woo!
storm is TNL, Thunder and
Yes, and
Lightning.
lightning.
We are here today. We're going to talk about the topic is families first, okay?
First.
Families first. An
Yes.
important topic. We're going to talk about what it means to be a single mamas,
Single mamas.
and we also have Lynetta Small Widow that we're going to be bringing out here in just a few. She's going to talk about what it means to be a married mama. So that's what we're going to
Yes.
do. That's what we're talking about. I am excited. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Tell them
Let's
why.
get this going.
Why are you excited?
Because we understand that family is so important, y'all. So we are here to talk about this thing with you. We want you all to make sure you're putting your family first. And it makes a difference in our everyday life. So we want to come to you and have this discussion today.
Well, we want to let you know that we are not in the studio today. We are in
No.
the water. That's where we are. We decided
Yes.
to bring our families here. We do this
Absolutely.
quite often, at least once a month. We come,
Yes.
we ladies come, and periodically bring the little ones.
Yes.
But this is part of our self-care. That's
Absolutely.
part of our self-care for being a single mom.
Exactly.
You've got to take care of you. You've got to show your kids what to expect in life. But we're going to get more into that later.
Yes.
I'm just excited.
Yes, it's a beautiful day. Thank God for this wonderful day that we have, and we're here. We have breath in our bodies. We're able to do things and move. So we're just grateful. We're blessed on today, and most importantly, we're so happy to have you along with us today. If you want, go ahead and feel free to share this with someone
Share
right
it.
now. Share it on all your social media platforms. We're on Facebook Live. Definitely share so everyone can join.
And I
in
want to
on
say
us
this
with
because
us.
people say this normally when they're going to do an event or something.
Right.
Let me do some housekeeping. You know where your bathrooms are if you have to go to the bathroom during the
Right.
show. But take the phone with you so you won't miss anything. Also, make sure you
Yes.
have some water, something you can drink, just so that way you stay hydrated. Also, yes,
What else?
share.
Share. Yes.
If you have anything or any thoughts on this, which I'm sure everybody does, if you're a
Of
mom,
course.
that means you're single or you're married. My finger tells you
Uh-oh.
I am single.
Single. Oh, wait a minute.
So,
Wait a minute. I think I'm in there with you.
Single.
We're single mamas.
So we are going to talk, as in the perfect storm, we're going to
Yes.
talk about what life is like for us
Mhm.
as single mamas. And
Yes.
there are ups, there are downs, there are ins, there are outs, kind of like a
Absolutely.
song, but it's not. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Yes. And then we're so excited to bring on Miss Lynetta Widow. And she's a married
widow.
mama, small widow.
Come
And,
on.
and she's a married mama. So we want to be able to relate to you at all different levels, single or married. So we got a little bit something for everybody.
The good thing about Lynetta coming on, of course, we like to keep both sides of the coin, is she was once a single mama, and now she's a married mama. So it gets to show both sides. We two have been both, but she is currently.
Yes.
So we need that
We do.
aspect. So absolutely. So first, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and let you know a little bit about myself. I am Yasmina. I have been married 3 times. The 4th will be the charm.
That's it.
I've been married 3 times, and I have what I call 2 sets of kids. I have my 30 and 31-year-old, Bailey and Blair. And then I have Brenna. She's 16. I also have my grandbabies who I'm raising who are 6 and soon to be 8. And that gives you that big span of what I'm dealing with as a mom. And so it's interesting. It's even interesting being a single grandmama. That's a different aspect as well. So I just wanted to introduce myself. Lightning's going to introduce herself, and then Lynetta Small Widow will as well.
Yes, awesome. Yes, my name is Shawana Hines, aka Lightning, and I am a single mama of 3 kiddos. I've been actually married twice at a very young age. So some of you may be able to relate. I was a teenage mom, and we got married at a very young age. We were 17 years old. Whoa, right? First marriage and one from my second. And they are wonderful kids. So I have one second year in college, Shania. She just turned 20 this week. Right, 20 years old. My middle child, Lorenz, he is 16. And my littlest one, she is actually 6, well, she'll be 6 next week. Her and Thunder's birthday are a day apart.
We're birthday twins.
Yeah, birthday twins.
twins.
So they're actually a day apart, and yeah, and she's 6. So those are my babies. They're wonderful kids, and I tell you, I'm so very blessed to be their mom. I don't take that lightly that God has blessed them and trusted me to be able to steward over them on here on earth. So I really appreciate that. But that's my family.
So now I'm gonna do the drum roll.
Yes.
We would like next Lynetta Small-Whittle. Lynetta, she's gonna introduce herself and her family. Lynetta, take it.
Lynetta on?
So yes, I'm on.
Bam. Okay, bam. Bam.
I'm in Fresno, the heat. So my name is Lynetta Small-Whittle. I've been married for 19 years now. I have 4 children, a 20-year-old, another 20-year-old, which is my stepson, Dominic. Davion is the oldest, and my daughter, Aliyah, who's 14, and Layla, who's 13. And I have a daycare.
With a bunch of babies.
With a bunch of babies. I love my babies.
Right.
Don't make me go through that list. I really have to
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yes,
We love it. We love it. So those are our families, everyone. As you can see, you know, we have kiddos and they're a part of our lives. And that's important. That's why we call this family first, because we want to make sure we talk to you about how important it is to keep your family first. And I must say, and I know we'll get into it a little bit deeper. I know my pastor, Pastor Mark Jackson, Light Church, we just recently talked about in our leadership and training, family first. We've had to talk about that to say, really, where are we with our families? Are we really giving our families the time and attention that they deserve? Because sometimes by the time we're finished with our busy days, they're getting the worst of us, right? It's almost like we're doing so much, and by the time we get to them, we've already had it.
That's right.
So let's prioritize. You know, let's make sure we're putting God first, and let's take care of those families. And we're gonna talk about that today.
Okay, prioritize. That's a very important word. Very important word. Okay, so with priorities, of course, we must set boundaries. So, you know, with those priorities, we have God is first.
Yes.
God created us. He created each and every one of us with a specific plan and purpose. So that means from the time we were knit in our mother's womb, He already knew us. He called us. He already had a plan and purpose for us, which means He already has a plan and purpose for our children. He has given each and every one of us a specific design. Like literally, we are originals. When He made me, He broke that mold. Okay, there's only one Thunder, but He also made our baby. So what I'm saying to that is, you take just the 3 of us women on this show today.
Right.
So truly different personalities. It's amazing how we could be so different yet one.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying that to say that God created you to be unique. So celebrate that uniqueness.
Right.
So God first, then family. So I'm saying that for a reason because, you know, there have been times in life where, you know, it's been God, church, family, but it's really God, family. It's family right after God. So I just want to make sure that we, you know, make that point, or at least I make the point where I'm standing or where I come from and why I come from that place. So what do you think about that order?
Absolutely. Well, we know God is a God of order, and I want to be able to live my life according to that and make sure I'm following that order. And anywhere in my life where I'm not lining up with that, I want to check myself in that area to say, let me come back a little bit, Shawana. Are you kind of order in this area? Let's fix that. So I'm all for making sure I keep that order. Some people may not necessarily know. Maybe this is a topic they need to talk about. And say, you know what, maybe I am putting my family at the bottom when they should be up here. You know? Absolutely. So I think if we could definitely address it, and I constantly need reminders, because I'm like, okay, now you're too busy. And I find myself with my kiddos, I'm working so much, but yet, like I said, they're getting the worst of me. So I'm like, no, come back, let's bring it back, and let's keep, you know, things in order. Let's keep it in order. So
do you have anything to add on order, Lynette?
You know, order is very significant when it comes to any relationship in our lives. And if you don't have that, you will have that lack. Even if you look at past relationships, failed marriages, or I wouldn't say failed, I would say marriages that we learned from that didn't work.
I like that.
Okay, Netta.
You know, if you look at that, if you really pick it apart, you can see that, okay, we lost each other in there. Yeah, God was so far up that we wasn't meeting him where he was at, and our children are so far down, the rest of the family is so far down, and you just in this limbo floating. So it's very important to have that order and make sure that you have that connection and that oneness when it comes to the order of your life.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely. We absolutely are going to get more into this. We're going to go ahead and go to a small break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to dive in head first.
Woo.
Let's go.
All right.
We'll see you in a minute.
Carolco, the Valley's leader for no-cost energy upgrades. Now installing AC motors, Nest thermostats, insulation, and more. COVID-19 safe. Call Carolco at 559-396-3939 and visit carolco.net.
Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine, available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your favorite restaurant.
With Organic Pastures Raw Milk, you're getting a product that has been meticulously managed from grass to glass. From our pastures to our dairy, creamery, and distribution, we work hard to produce a product that is safe and clean for you.
Got lactose intolerance or dairy allergies? Discover delicious raw milk and discover dairy the way it's supposed to be. We provide tours and would love to see you. Come visit the cows, watch the milking, the cheese being made, and learn all about raw milk. We're just 20 miles south and west of Fresno, California. Call to schedule a tour at 559-846-9732.
Hi, everybody. It's me again, Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and I'm here with, of course, Lynetta Smallwidow and Shawana Hines. We are here together. T and L are here together to talk about this topic, and it's the topic of families first. It's about being what it's like life as a single and married mama. So I have to say, for me, I absolutely enjoy life. I'm learning. I'm barely now truly learning how to live life as God has intended. He has created us to live life and to have life more abundantly.
Yeah.
That is his will for us. And I'm truly just now in the last just barely last 6 years, learning what that means. Okay. Truly embracing this time of my life. Truly understanding about it's okay to embrace my dreams, and it's okay to embrace my uniqueness. In fact, it's important and imperative that I do, because I need to share that with the kids who God has entrusted me with.
Right.
He has trusted me to be a good steward over them. And yes, I make mistakes, and with my first two, 30 and 31, that was before I knew the Lord, and they survived it. But I made many mistakes. So this time around, I make mistakes even now. Of course, I'm human. I'm flesh. I wake up every morning, flesh is right there. However, I know God now, and I know how to seek my source to get it right. So now it is my purpose and my plan to show them, because kids do what they see, not what you tell them. So I have to show them how to live life as God intended. So your thoughts, Lightning?
Yeah, when I think about, as a single mom, I think that's so important that we, set that example. We already understand you're single, so most of the time in that same household, that father figure is not there. I mean, there may be others, uncle or someone else that may be having an impact on that child's life, or dad even, stop it, no. Our dad may be there, maybe in another city, another state even, but we already know that it's a lot of pressure on that mom already to try to fulfill these roles, right? Like, she's trying to do so much. She's trying to be the nurturer and the disciplinarian and all that at the same time. Right. And I had to find myself taking it easy because I feel like I want to be the nurturing mama. You know, I don't want to have to discipline you like I wish your daddy could do that, you know, in that capacity. But I have to understand that's not the reality. That's not the dynamic right here. So I find myself having to find that balance with my little ones, right? So I'm trying to live right, you know, making sure I'm living right completely, you know, and then from there, just trying to find the balance between time, you know, spending time with them, you know, quality time. That's a whole nother topic though.
That is a whole nother topic.
Quality time with them, and just trying to get it all together. I'm telling y'all, I feel like I'm really hard on myself sometimes. So I'm like, Lord, am I gonna get this completely right?
Right.
Like we didn't come with no we have these babies, it didn't come with no manual like on how to do everything. So I'm kind of navigating my way through. You know, I call my 20-year-old my guinea pig because everything is new with her. You know, the other ones I kind of get it right after that. You know, the other two. But I think it's work, and I think the balance of it all, and just trying not to be really hard on myself, you know, with like, man, I don't want to make myself feel like a failure.
Right.
In areas when I know like I'm not perfect. So trying to do the best I can.
Absolutely. And I know you definitely have some pointers for us and thoughts and how things have been and how you've been navigating through this, Lynetta.
You know, when it comes to marriage, people have this preconception of that everything's going to be perfect. And you're going to have this picket fence and this red door and the dog, honey, and the children are all lined up and neat. But it's a lie. That's a fantasy, guys. I'll be the first to tell you. You're going to have your arguments. But what I love about my family dynamics, although my husband and I, we had our ups and our downs. We had our ins and our outs. We were separated for a second. But the way that my children saw us come back together and how we was able to bridge gaps and for them to be able to see that, and when they get ready to go into a relationship, then they'll know how to respond, and they'll have the proper steps of what to do to come back together. And when you know that you're parenting your butt off. My son told me, he said, Mom, I would love to have a relationship like you and Dad, because y'all always put God back in there.
Come on.
You kind of push them out like, God, I got this. I'm with your son, because you know it's always them, not us.
Yeah.
When the kids act up, you act like your daddy, you know. So it's just putting God back in there.
Yes.
and I'm fixing that and having them fix our heart and love each other. The bond is amazing. I enjoy being married. Marriage is fun. It's blissful.
I know that's
but
right.
It also has its challenges.
Absolutely.
So it's just finding the balance between you and your spouse. It's you two on top when it comes to your family, because the kids will play you.
Come on, now that's good,
so
Netta. That's
stay
good.
strong. So we're a unit, and our children is our little soldiers.
I love that.
I like that.
You know, I like what and you being transparent and sharing, because it's a reality of life and family.
Absolutely.
There are bumps in the road. There are times that we may be apart.
Absolutely.
But I think this is a thunder thought that it's power in showing them that this happened for a moment, but
Absolutely.
look what we did to get it back together.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There's power in that. And that's the part that people, I think, don't focus on. And I know, and I've been guilty of that in times past, especially with Bailey and Blair, especially with those two. I was truly, when I was single at that time, I was a single prideful mama. I was the single mama that was like, I got this. I don't need anybody. I can do it, and I'm going to show it. I'm going to prove it. I ain't going to ask for help. And I tell you, women, that was a mistake.
Come on.
Right.
There's no way that God was in any of it. Not at all. That is not of God. Let me repeat. That is not of God.
You know what? And I'm sorry, can we talk about that? You just said that.
Right.
For a single prideful mama.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I know a lot of women may be dealing with that. I've heard a lot of people have stories about sometimes the mamas don't even want the daddies to even see it. They will hold that intentionally for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Or you find issues like that, like, I'm not going to ask for anything. I got this. I'm not going to, no, you're not going to do nothing for me. I mean, how did that, in what ways did that affect you?
Okay, let me do this. What it was for me is, first of all, I never kept my kids from their father. I don't care how I was feeling. I don't care if we did just argue. I don't care whether or not I felt he was doing enough or was doing whatever it was.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the kids. That has nothing to do with his relationship with them. I, Thunderthought, feel that is wrong. We cannot do kids need their fathers. And if the fathers are there and ready and willing, whether you think they're doing it whether you think they're not doing it the way you feel they should, that's still their children.
Right.
So you two are adults, you deal with your issues, but let the father be the father. So that's
and let your children be children. Stop as your best friend. Like, you have friends for that. One time I tried to talk about my husband to my oldest daughter, Aaliyah, and I was like, let me tell you something. If it wasn't your daddy problem, it wasn't your daddy doing X, Y, Z. She said, Mom. She stopped me dead in my tracks. She said, Mom, do not do that. Whatever your dad is going through, 14, whatever your dad is going through, leave that with y'all. But don't in because you tear us apart. Huh? I said, okay, God, God will use anybody.
Yes, he does.
He can hear you, but you don't have to say, almost got my daughter slapped, but you don't have to say it through her. So let your kids be kids.
Come on, that's good,
Netta. Chance to grow up.
Yeah.
Their time will come, and we'll walk them through their heartbreak, and we'll be angry along with them. Let them be children. The world is enough.
Yes.
I like that. Another thing I want to point out too, the importance of not speaking negativity. I'm piggybacking off of what you said about speaking negatively regarding their father, because we have to remember our children's identity comes from us and from their father.
Yeah.
So how they feel about themselves, how they feel about how life is going to turn out for them, what they can do, what they can accomplish, comes from how they view themselves as it relates to their mom and their dad.
Right.
God has listen, you wouldn't have been a mama without the daddy. So again, thunder thought.
Yeah.
What about lightning? What do you have?
Well, to add on to that, honestly, I think that's a key area that a lot of times, as being, if you're single, you do find that a lot of parents will talk negatively about the other parent in the presence of the child.
Yes.
Right.
And it's almost like in that moment, that's not okay for one. It's not okay. Let's just acknowledge that. But in that moment, to figure out, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
I think you have to really that can go either way, the mom or the dad. The dad could be saying negative stuff about the mom as well in the presence of the kids. But why am I doing that? Am I still harboring some type of anger, bitterness,
feelings?
Feelings, let's be real.
There you go, Netta, that's real. So feelings, come on. Like, what is it that's really there? And to say, let me fix that. Because it's only going to be for the benefit of your child. Because if you're going to continue to do that, that's hurting that child. You just understand, despite whatever happened, that child loves both of those parents.
Absolutely.
And don't try to tear them apart. So I think that's a big issue, because we see that quite a bit, where all that negativity is still taking place in the homes, and that's not okay.
So just even going on. Go ahead, Lynetta.
It's like, I look at my family dynamics like this, and I talk about this with my husband all the time. Do we want to put up money for college, or do we want to put up money for therapy?
Netta, that's good.
Is that a book?
Or let's take it to the next place. Or do we want to be putting money on them books?
No, that's real.
3.
We don't.
Right, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. We want college, guys.
Well, come on now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but and going back to that, the prideful mama that I was, I can truly say I never kept them from the father.
Okay.
I was prideful because of the issue I had with me, the woman. Me, the woman who was determined not to ask for help.
Okay.
Me, the woman who was determined to show that I've got this, never let them see you sweat. Me, the woman that, I'm going to keep game face.
Gotcha.
And, I had my 30-year-old tell me not too long ago, she said, Mom, I used to, because I was telling her issues that I was having back then when they were younger. Yeah. She said, I never knew that was happening. And I said, yes. She said, I always thought you had everything was perfect, that you never had problems, you never had mistakes, that you had everything perfect.
Right.
And when she said that, it showed me the disservice I did to her.
That's dangerous.
That's why
Absolutely.
I commend you that, you and your husband showed this, but you showed what you do when this happens.
Absolutely.
I didn't show that. I showed I got it. So what it did for her as she grew is it made her feel inadequate. It made her feel like, well, gosh, my mom always never had it together. So I got to hide that I'm having these issues and that I'm having these problems because she never does. But little did she know up until just a few months ago when we talked about it was, oh, boy, I have problems.
Right.
So being open with your children, very important.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I am just, we're here. We're almost at a place where we got to go on another break. But when we come back, I would love to talk about time management.
Ooh,
time management.
Let's do that.
Time management.
As a single and married, as women.
Come on now.
You wouldn't believe what I do.
Let's talk about it.
And married mamas, how do you juggle it all? We've already talked about order.
Yes.
We've already talked about, we gotta don't exclude the fathers. Right. We've talked about showing them that yes, I am imperfect.
That's right.
Right.
But this is what we do, keeping God center. We and of course we could expound. We could go so much further on these topics. These topics are all individual topics in and of themselves. But we're just hitting these topics, just sharing ourselves with you.
Absolutely. And feel free, everyone, if you have some, comment. We'll go back, we'll look at those comments.
Yes.
If you have any questions for us, please definitely join in with us as we have these conversations. We definitely appreciate it.
And I do want to put this out there too. Remember, what we share is our story. We share our experiences. So we can wholeheartedly speak from a place of transparency like Lynetta did.
Yes.
And from just the place of truth. This is our
This
truth.
is our truth.
So
Right.
It's not about the right or wrong. There is right and wrong. But
Absolutely.
we know how we felt. We know what we go through.
Right.
So we're just sharing that. And we're just opening this up so that way you can see that those of you who have shared experiences as ours, you can see you're not alone.
Absolutely.
So we'll see you in a moment. We'll see. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Highlights, balayage, color, extensions, cuts, pure Brazilian blowouts, treatments. Contact Jordan Myers at Hair by Jordan.
Carol Co., the Valley's leader for no-cost energy upgrades. Now installing AC motors, Nest thermostats, insulation, and more. COVID-19 safe. Call Carol Co. at 559-396-3939 and visit carolco.net.
Termites? Gone. Ants? Gone. Call San Joaquin Pest Control at 291-2200 or visit them online at sanjoaquinpestcontrol.com to take care of your pest problem today.
Call Valley Cryosport today to learn how you can decrease muscle soreness, speed up your body's recovery time, and improve your immune system. And Valley Cryoskin uses science that works with your body's natural systems, killing fat cells without damaging surrounding tissue, and increasing oxygen supply that aids in collagen production, resulting in slimmer, toned bodies and the elimination of fine lines and wrinkles. Visit valleycryosport.com today or call 559-500-3304.
Hi, everybody. It's Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and I'm here talking about what it means to love me, love life, live healthy. I am here with, of course, Shawana. So TNL, Thunder, and Lightning are here, the perfect storm. We're here talking about families first. And who do we have with us?
Oh,
Lynetta Small Widow.
it's just me.
She represents the married mamas out there. And we have us. We represent this. Oh, you single ladies? Oh, the single ladies. So we represent that.
Yes.
So we're just here talking about just thoughts and feelings and things we've gone through, and just more than anything wanting you moms to understand to give yourself a break.
Yes.
To take a deep breath, to slow down, to ask for help, to understand you can't do it all by yourself, and it's okay. God didn't create you to be able to do it all by yourself. You still a superhero now.
Yes,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Yeah. So we're gonna now talk into it, dive in at first about time management as a single and married mom. So, let's, how about Lynetta?
Okay.
Time management. Talk to us. How do you manage it all? Because not only do you have your children, but you have your husband, and you have yourself. You have your business. So, as a mom, and school, about to graduate. So, here's the deal with that. But you still have to give your family, your children, the time they need.
Absolutely.
Tell us what are some of the things you do. I know you took your babies to the beach here recently, and I know you spend lots of time with them. So tell us what you do, and tell us how to do it.
The first thing I do as a married woman, I will call a family meeting. So we have a family meeting once a week. So I sat down with them and I let them know, like, hey, I'm going back to school. I have these things going on. So they know to respect me when it comes to my study time or doing homework. Also with my husband, he's on board. So you have to make sure your team is strong and behind you. When you have that one rotten apple and they're like, what you going back to school for? Or your husband looking at you like, you going back so you can leave me? So it's it starts a lot of confusion. But when you have those loved ones around you that's really pushing behind you and supporting you, then it makes life easier. So communication within a family is everything.
Yes.
You think that it's just the mom and the dad that need to talk, or you talking to your friends. I have close friends, like you're one of them, Yasmina. I have Kyria, that's one of them. And it's like having that friendship and having those to talk to that's going to be in your corner pushing you along. It's huge. It's everything. And you have to make sure, like you said, having things prioritized and balanced, or you won't make it. I check on my kids' schoolwork. I make sure that they're on top of things. So it's like you always poking in and out. Because with a child, if they don't think you're watching them, they're not going to stay in Zoom class the whole time. They're like, oh, Mom, we got out early. So it's just looking over that shoulder, letting them know I am here for you. I will drop everything to make sure that you guys are okay. And that's
absolutely,
I balance it in my life.
Ooh, I like that. Communication, family meeting. That is key. That is important. Lightning, tell me, balance, time management. How do you do it all? You too, student, mother, all that.
You know what? Honestly, this is like a show in and of itself when we talk about this time management thing, because I think a lot of people are struggling with this right now, especially trying to get the hang of things with, at home, with homeschooling kids now and our work schedules, and life is just busy. But when I tell you, this is key to my heart right here, because I struggled with time. I was always that person who said, I don't have enough time in a day. It's not enough hours in a day. I'm so busy. But then I found myself even adding on more stuff in my day, which didn't make sense, right?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? But I kept saying that. But let me tell you, we had this conversation last night.
Yes, we did. I know, Chair.
Right. I said, you know what, Shawana, you tripping. I had to tell myself that. I said, how can I keep telling myself I don't have enough time when God gave me this time?
Well,
so what am I saying? He gave me 24 hours, and I'm saying I don't have enough time. He's saying, no. Are you saying I made a mistake?
Well,
because this is what I gave you. So I had to say, ooh, Shawana. So I vowed to say, y'all, if y'all catch me saying that again, y'all check me. I'm not going to say that anymore. I don't have enough time. Because the fact is, I do. Yes. I have to prioritize some things. I got to look at myself and see, what am I doing? Am I really keeping busy with things that don't even matter? Whoa. Right. Now that's deep.
That's
and
deep.
I found myself, I was. So now where I am right now is I'm really prioritizing things. What really matters? And right now, since we're talking about families first, I found that was an area that I was neglecting. I was putting more work into other things, being busy at work, being busy with things. I love to read. I found myself, why are you reading right now? Aside from my Bible time, why are you reading? You can go spend some time with them babies. I have to check myself, ouch, right? So those are some things that's really been playing a key role in my life to really keep that order. So I have to come back. I got to revisit these things sometimes to say, get back in order. First things first. So
I like that. Revisit some things sometimes. We do have to do that because we have to have structure in our life.
Yes.
That's where time management comes. That gives us structure.
Yes.
We have calendars. God has set days. There's a certain amount of minutes and hours in a day, in a week, in a month. So God is strategic. He's very strategic about time.
Yes, he
and
is.
definitely would want us to manage it.
Yes.
But we also have to be flexible. So I'm bringing that up because that an issue of mine. Like I would set something and think it just had to be this way, and if it didn't, I would have anxiety with it, pressure that I was putting on myself. You know, as I'm building, just say
Yes.
There's timelines I give myself. Okay, and I feel that they have to be set in these timelines.
Right.
And for you women who are entrepreneurs, women period, just women period, you know, when you set these goals and these timelines, it's not the end of the world if you don't meet them. We have to be able to adjust. We have to be able to, but make sure that we're not having time wasters, time stealers. What we do in the family, and now mind you, I've had many different family dynamics, so I'm going to speak of what I do now, because I believe that what I'm doing now is beginning to work the best and will produce the best results.
Yes.
Not that they're set, because I'm learning as I go. So let me say that. But we do the family meeting thing as well.
Absolutely.
And I'll give you an example of something. Just recently, I moved church homes and changed church family. Hey, Dr. Darius Daniels, my pastor. So but when I had sought the Lord, and the Lord had been talking to me about it for quite some time, a couple of years or so, and when I finally had the courage to move forward, not because anything happened, but because it's just my life was in a different phase.
Absolutely.
Really, that's it. Just my life was in a different phase.
Right.
And so part of the journey is to switch. And sometimes we have to change courses. So still in the body, still a child of God, just courses change. And I sat down with my three, and I said, we're about to, this is what I'm thinking about.
Right.
What are your thoughts? And it's amazing in those family meetings, as Lynetta said, the communication, when you put that out there, and the feedback that you get. And when you realize that, whoa, when I put it out there, hearing my 16-year-old's feedback and realizing, oh, she's not going to be sad about this.
Right.
And she has her reasons why, which lets me know, okay, I'm the one dragging my feet. So that communication was absolutely important. So, and I point that out to say family meetings, because that's an example of that was a decision that was going to affect all of them. So it was important that I talk to all of them. It's like with a husband and wife, and I'm going to speak on it for a minute, even though I'm single.
You remember.
Oh,
yeah, right,
that's right. That's right.
I remember. I should remember, man. I remember. But you know, it's God and the husband and the wife, although they submit to one another, okay? One to another is how that works. Amen. But of course, God holds that man accountable. So, you know, you do have those. They need to converse. The decision there are one. So whatever one does, it affects the other. Right. So in my home, because I'm a single mom, whatever I do affects these children.
That's right.
I'm about to make a move.
That's right.
An actual physical move here in about 14 months. And of course, I sat the kids down to let them know this is what's happening. And because this is happening, these are the changes that need to be made. These are what are your thoughts, and do you see why? Let me explain to you. Now, I'm not going to change my mind because they're 16, sorry. They're 16, they are 6, and they're 7, soon to be 8. But I want them to understand that this is what's happening. You follow your head, and I'm the head. So discuss that. Discuss it. But be flexible with yourself, ladies. If you have to change a timeline, now I'm going to go to the entrepreneurial side. If you said you were going to do something to your website and didn't do it and you're a week late with it, it's okay. Right. God will redeem that time. It's okay. Give yourself a break.
Yeah, but I must say, I think even when those deadlines, they're set, and in some areas, that can be kind of crucial for a certain project, right? You got to meet that.
Absolutely.
I think if we prepare ourselves in these areas and get things in order, then we won't miss those deadlines. If we don't overwhelm ourselves initially, then we're able to get to those things when we need to.
I like it.
You know, so I think if we work on this, it's something we need to work on instead of just, sometimes we say, oh, well, maybe I'll never get that area together. No, you can get this thing together. Like I said, it's 24 hours. But you must understand, God will give you the grace to be able to manage this thing and hold it down, even as a single mama and a married woman. Because married women, they're busy. See, we don't have a husband. That in and of itself, man, and I know you can attest. That takes a lot by itself, just that husband, right? And his giving him that attention. So right now, so we're all busy, right? Even as a single mom and married, mom. So I think we just need to make sure that we're really addressing this and staying on top of it and making sure we get this time management thing together as much as possible. But don't be so hard on ourselves if we don't meet every single deadline.
And ask for help. Just make sure you're asking for help from qualified people that you know.
That's real. That's real.
Right. Yes, your support system, your support. Yes. The three of us, we know we got each other's back, right?
Absolutely.
So support. Lynetta, what can you add more to this, which I know you can?
Yes.
You know, in child development, they teach us to observe, to plan, and then to execute.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is not going to work out like you would love it to work out. I would love to have 5 children lined up in a row and things go smooth throughout the day, but that's not reality.
Right.
But we have to be flexible, and being flexible teaches the child that's watching you, oh, so it's not the end of the world, and things doesn't stop and break, and I don't have to be angry and hate myself and use harsh words.
That's good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
This is for adults, because we teach them young so we won't have the reckless adults.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
We just building society. So absolutely, I agree with both of you ladies. I mean, it's okay. The world is not going to end. The world didn't end over COVID. We still battling that and overcoming this step, so we can do anything.
That's right. That's right. It's good, Netta. Thank you. Awesome.
Well, I just want to go ahead and we're going to go to another break here. But before we do, I'm going to go ahead and separate just to give you a view again. In the background, I don't know if you can see it. But we are at the water. We
love it, y'all.
And we family time. How do you spend your family time? And that's what we're going to talk about next. So this is us spending family time with the little munchkins. They're inside.
Yes.
We might have to bring them by and parade them through.
Right.
Just understand.
We believe you.
The hair hasn't been combed. They're still in pajamas. It's all right, because this is how we spend our time.
Get those
We want you to at least see them real quick.
Okay.
But that's what we're going to talk about next. Also, I want to remind you, first and third Saturdays, we're going to be talking about whatever there is to talk about.
Yes.
Conversations.
You have a topic you'd like us to discuss? Let us know. So we'll see you in a moment.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your favorite restaurant. At McDermott Counseling, you will receive the highest level of care and a welcoming, safe space in which to discuss your most personal issues. Our therapists go above and beyond for you. Call 559-280-5756 or visit McDermottCounseling.com to find a caring therapist who best suits your needs.
Now with offices in Hanford, California. Also offering telehealth therapy.
With Organic Pastures Raw Milk, you're getting a product that has been meticulously managed from grass to glass. From our pastures to our dairy, creamery, and distribution, we work hard to produce a product that is safe and clean for you.
Got lactose intolerance or dairy allergies? Discover delicious raw milk and discover dairy the way it's supposed to be. We provide tours and would love to see you. Come visit the cows, watch the milking, the cheese being made, and learn all about raw milk. We're just 20 miles south and west of Fresno, California. Call to schedule a tour at 559-846-9732.
Hello, everybody. Hi, it's Yasmina.
Yes.
Just say yeah. And I am here with Lynetta, Shawana, Tia, and Nell are together. The perfect storm. And we have the wind blowing in our hair because we are where? At the beach.
Oh,
Yes.
whoa,
We are
yes,
spending
love it.
family time at the beach.
Yes.
I'm saying that just to say the sound may be a little gargly at times because the wind is blowing.
Woo.
The
Be
wind is
humble.
blowing through my hair.
That-
Whatever. See? And and the lighting may be interesting, but we're spending family time.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. So we're going to talk about what we do to spend family time. Shawana, lightning.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh, wow. So I have been recently intentional about family time because, like I said in one of the previous segments, was that I wasn't always good at this, and I would always find myself being busy. So I said, I got to spend some time with my kiddos, right? Let's plan some stuff. So I love to travel. So making trips, so going to Denver, going different places locally, amusement parks, but also these babies love the water.
Absolutely.
So we love to bring them out to the water, to the beach, the coast of California, and be intentional about that. But I had to really say, instead of just talking about, I'm gonna do this next year. No, I said, just do it. Open up that calendar, put a date in there, and make it happen. If you need to get that time off from work, do it. Put your request in.
Come on now.
Make sure you do that, and just really make sure I got that time with them. Because I understand. I found myself bringing work with me. I'm like, no, you can't do that. Make sure I have to be selfless and say, this is their time.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, make sure I sit down with them, make sure I play some games with them, interact with them, be engaged and not be.
Absolutely.
Because the little one, they'll tell you, can you put that phone down?
Absolutely.
So I don't want to be too much here and not focus on them because it makes a difference because they remember that. So I have been intentional on setting dates and making it happen.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I see. So are you trying to tell me that they're going to remember that these are their memories for the future and how they may be with their families?
You better believe it. I must say,
Okay.
I remember all the things that I did as a child. My parents would just we used to get on the road. That's why I love the road so much because we used to always go on road trips. And I found myself, I thought about, I said, Shawana, your parents did more stuff with you than you did with your own, but I'm with my own children. I said, what? And my family didn't have as much money as I do right now. And I said, wait, how was that? I said, nah, see, you're not being engaged and you're not really paying attention to what matters. Because I remember all those memories made a difference with me. So I said, nope, pause. We're going to make sure we got some memories here and some good memories. So that's why I'm more engaged and more on top of it now because of that.
I'm just smiling only because
What?
Pastor Darius Daniels always says, pause for the cause. But, okay, so intentionality.
Yes.
Lynetta Small-Widow, tell us
Yes.
about that and how you spend family time. How are you intentional with your family time?
Yes.
I've been so intentional since my kids were born.
Yeah, you
So from the girls and my boys being
I
starting at the
second
age
that.
of
She
1,
really has.
like I will take them to the movies with us because you're gonna know how to act. And
Okay.
when we like go off or that first trip on a plane, you're not gonna be like, I ain't never been
No,
on
you're
a
not.
plane. Like you gonna act like you've been here before.
There it is.
We also with the beach, that's our reset button for my family.
Yes.
I need my girls to have that experience, and I was able to allow my boys to have that experience, and just those memories, and then them passing it down to their children,
Right.
and collecting rocks and sand, and being buried in sand, and going whale watching, like that is like, I always tell my husband, especially with our little girls, all little boys and little girls need to have this experience, right? Especially with our little girls. Because they need to know that just because little Johnny comes to you and give you a ring, you don't have to do nothing strange for a little change. You can't.
Well,
come on.
So we had to give them that overkill of love and that embrace, and just they have to be involved, and you must be involved, and like you said, engaged. Engage with them. So
absolutely.
Well, you know what, Lynetta, I want you
That's
to
good, Ned. I like that.
I want you to speak a little bit more on intentionality, and especially with how it relates to and it related. You said you did this from the time your kids were young.
Yes.
I know that you have.
Yes.
I watched it.
Yes.
I saw that. And you have all kids. You have many kids. You have 2 boys, 2 girls. But right now we're just going to focus on your firstborn, just because I want you to just kind of highlight the intentionality you did with him and where he is today.
Okay.
Come on,
people would look at me like I was a monster. So I remember being inside the church, and I would go to rehearsal, and I'm at every Sunday service.
Yeah.
And Davion, he started playing baseball when he was 6 years old, and it was like, well, you know, God, and you don't want to put your son, and it was like, no, I know the order: God, family, church. So Davion started playing baseball. I would see him, the difference between him and another child throwing the ball, running, hitting. And I'm like, I told my husband, I said, you know what I said? Davion is going to go pro. This is
Yes, you said that.
So he goes on throughout the years. He's 9 years old, and I'm on Facebook, you know, not so much bragging, but letting people know, like, y'all probably want to come and see this kid before you have to go travel to see him, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Gotcha.
Davion is going to go pro. And I remember sitting down at a family meeting, and I told Davion and, you know, Drake and the girls, I said, Davion is going to go pro. Davion, how bad do you want it? Because I could want it all day for you, but how bad do you want it?
Right.
That kid sat back and was like, I want it. We're going to get it. They started scouting him from the age of 9. We go through life. He goes through high school. He becomes a senior. He ended up having a dead arm, meaning like a slight tear in his arm. So the pros are out there, they're clocking him.
Right.
So he said, you know, Mom, we went to a meeting at Fresno City College, and they said, hey, can you give us 2 years? Davion, he sat up in that chair, he said, I'm gonna give you 1 year. He said, I'm gonna be all like top pitcher of the year, I'm gonna give you this 1 year, then I'm going pro. That kid got pitcher of the year, and he went pro.
Come on now.
18. So
Come on now. That's
you
what
can
there
see
it
that
is.
light on the child, and it's
That's
up to us as parents to speak it,
Yes.
to write it, to show and remind. Visuals
There
are
it is. Oh, to
everything.
show and
I'm the
remind.
same way with my other kid, my daughters. You know, you wanna sell lip gloss, see it, write it, post it on your wall. You know,
Write the vision,
it.
make it plain.
This is what it takes to become a psychologist, Aaliyah.
Come on.
See it, write it, and start saving money to help me with that tuition. But
Hey.
There it is. There it is.
so that's been intentional.
Good.
That's right. That's
Using
right.
the tongue
Anna.
the right way.
You know, and I'm sure
Yes.
that it wasn't always fun, sunshine, and roses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was not. However, you had a plan.
That plan.
You stuck to that plan.
Yes.
You spoke that plan. You spoke the outcome. You had faith in it and put your
Yes.
action steps to it.
Absolutely.
And now, that's where he is. Pro.
Yes.
Man, that
The
is
Tampa
so
Bay.
That right
Yes.
there is true intentionality at its
Yes.
finest. At its finest. Can I? If I could borrow your hat, I would tip my hat to you.
Thank you.
Well, you ladies,
listen,
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, but we got to get to you because
Okay,
I know
okay.
we want to know
Yes.
you have your grandchildren, your
Yes.
children. You are an entrepreneur, an author, a trainer. I mean, this woman does a little bit of everything, and I've seen her work. Tell me and tell the people what you do to be intentional with spending time with
Absolutely.
the family. Let's hear
So
that.
what do I do? First set, second set. So
Mhm.
you know, and I've had to apologize to my first set of kids a couple times.
I love it.
I did.
Guinea pigs.
I did. But because they didn't get quality time with me. They got a lot of trips with me because I wanted to make a point that, yeah, we flew to New York. I took my kids to New York for the 4th. I flew this one to Florida because I was prideful.
Right.
But when I got there, I'm just going to be transparent. I would get separate rooms. So my mom and the kids would be in one room and I'd be in my own room.
Right.
So I didn't really spend the time I should have spent. They were with me,
Right.
but I didn't spend that time.
Right.
So I really believe that God has given me a second chance.
Come on now.
I really
on
believe
now.
he has. And so now I have the grands and I have the 16-year-old. So now I get to, and it's not easy for me because my default is to try to be busy. So I have to teach myself out of the busyness.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had to teach myself priority. I had to teach myself to say no. In fact, that's where Just Say Yeah came from.
Yeah.
I had to say no first.
Yes.
I had to say yeah to me. I had to say yeah to the vision God gave me, to who God has called me to be. That's really what yeah is all about. That's what I mean when I say just say yeah. So that's what I had to do.
Right.
So now with this second group, we love, they love music. So when we're at home, that's why I say you don't have to have money to do things. Let me tell you what, we have watched Alexander Hamilton 752 times.
Don't get me started.
Now, yeah, there's parts in there that people could say, well, your kids shouldn't watch it, whatever. Yeah. That we have, and they have, and they know every part, and they know enough to not say the parts they shouldn't say. How about that? But my point is, and we are this way with, musicals. The other one, The Greatest Showman. We love musicals. So we sing, we have fun, we do parts. We that's the kind of stuff we could do around the house. We have fun. We play music. We play games. That's the kind of stuff that we do intentionally around the house. Simply me sitting down. Sometimes it's as simple as I found for our house, because I have some talkers in my house. So I wonder where they get it from. Oh, you
gotta love
Just say to daddy.
Yeah. Hey. But that we will just sit and talk. And they will share stories. They will talk about things. We'll laugh. There are times that I've literally said, okay, for the next 30 minutes, we'll watch TikTok. And we'll laugh with TikTok. And so that's stuff we could do that's just funny around the house. We've done crafts. We do crafts together. That kind of stuff is what we do intentionally.
Yes.
Sometimes they all pile on my bed. A lot of times they all pile on my bed, and literally it's a queen size bed. So, wow. And we're not little people, but we do this. We do
love
this.
each other.
I was doing laser tags with my grandson the other day, and sometimes they just want to be heard. So listening to him talk about Transformers for the 75th time is what you do.
Okay.
Yep.
And then there are things you do, of course, before COVID, going out and going to different things.
Absolutely.
But now with COVID, that's the reason why we do, for example, this weekend. Again, the water's in the background. No, but but why we do this, because it's the intentional acts that we do.
Yes.
We want to give our children, and I can speak for all of us, we want to give them experiences that would allow them to grow up and say, I'm not settling for that.
Absolutely.
I've had more already.
That's good.
Yep.
For them our children, all of us, we speak big. And we don't speak big to play, we speak big because we mean it.
Right.
So we have kids that literally look at us and say, so what's the problem and with the serious face, when are you buying our beach house? Like,
just like that.
When are you,
Where's
is it time yet? And they mean it. They mean it.
They do.
That's it.
They do.
So they really, when they're playing with their Legos, even this weekend, they're talking about their mansions and their houses, and because that's what they expect. So I would encourage you women, now I'm going to encourage a single woman.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you're married. Do it now.
Say that again, please.
Don't wait till you're married. Do it now.
Yes.
So that's my final thought for today. Don't wait till you're married. Do it now. What about you?
Yes, to be intentional. Please make sure you have some time for yourself. Self-care. Take care of you first. Because if you're no good, then if you're not taking care of you, you're not going to be good for anybody else. Take care of yourself, self-care, and make sure you spend that family time. Family first, y'all.
Lynetta, final thoughts?
You know better, you do better. Break away from fear.
Know better, do better.
I love it. Yes.
And that is real. Yeah, I'm waiting for y'all's books.
Yes.
We thank you so much for joining us today. Yes. Of course, we'll be back first and third Saturdays, same time, same that channel, same that place. We will be here. Just talking, just sharing our thoughts. Why not? Hey, let's do this.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. Family first.
And remember to join. Just say yeah. No, that's okay, Mama.
The kids.
So,
We're live.
We're live.
Yeah, commercial. Right.
Mama.
Or security.
I'm with Lynetta, T&L together, Shawana, Yasmina, and we just want to thank you. And remember, this is what it means to love me, love life, live healthy. We'll see you real soon.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.